Making up 70% of the Earth's surface, the ocean does incredible things. It produces over half of the world's oxygen and absorbs 50 times more carbon dioxide than our atmosphere. However, of all the threats our ocean faces, overfishing is the greatest. Catching too many fish at once has a huge impact on breeding. Marine stocks become too depleted to recover, and therefore more and more of our marine life are in danger of becoming extinct. As well as catching too many fish, fishermen are also responsible for bycatch. Bycatch is the act of catching unwanted fish. It can have a negative effect on many protected species such as dolphins, sea turtles, whales and protected fish too. Trawling is a method that involves large nets being dragged through the sea to catch large quantities of fish. This is when unwanted fish are caught and thrown back. They will often sustain some form of injury which will eventually kill them, causing imbalances to the ecosystem as well as reducing our species levels. Dredge nets, or bottom trawling, is a method used to sweep the bottom of the ocean in search of seafood. When these nets are towed, they cause damage to the seabed and ecosystem. The recovery rate for these damages depends on the habitat type. They can take anywhere from 1 to over 10 years. Some coral, such as marl, is one of the most vulnerable due to 70% having been removed from one area by a single dredge tow. This recovery will take many decades. Other sufferers are slow-growing sponges like the elephant hide sponge. These slow growers, as well as other soft coral reefs, can take up to 8 years to recover. In areas where dredging is permitted, these sponges are almost entirely damaged. Aqua farms are often considered a sustainable fishing source. Unfortunately, they are directly contributing to the decline of the ocean. Many fish eaten today come from aqua farms, and these are either inland or large holding cages in the water. The fish are bred specifically for consumption, and whilst this may seem like a good idea, fish are left in unacceptable conditions with incredibly toxic water. These toxicities overspill into the ocean, affecting the rest of the marine population. Aqua farms also lead to large amounts of fishing. Many of the fish they're breeding are predatory, which means they need smaller fish in order to keep them fed. This so-called solution remains an endless cycle of overfishing. The impact of overfishing is immense. It's a loss of food source, loss of livelihood, loss of species, and a loss of coral reefs. A loss of tuna would tip the balance of the marine ecosystem. They're an apex predator, and the consumption of various types of fish helps keep the population healthy and balanced. The method in which we fish and the destruction to the reefs they cause affect all the fish that rely on them for habitation. These ecosystems are so delicate and take so long to form that we don't have enough time to put it right, unless we change things now. Greenpeace state having more fish and other marine life in the sea means more carbon sequestration, a vital process that locks carbon emissions away. The ocean is the largest reservoir of carbon, estimated to contain around 38,000 gigatons. Although rainforests also play a vital role, the ocean is the biggest contributing factor in carbon sequestration. In order to combat this problem, we need to restrict fishing. Populations can be allowed to thrive if we protect them with no fishing zones. This practice was put in place in Ply, and soon enough the protected areas became so healthy that they spilled into the areas where fishing was still allowed. This resulted in increased catches for fishermen as well as restored coral reefs. If we implemented no fishing zones across a third of the world, we would have all we need. It would become far more sustainable, and this impacts the Earth as well as climate change.